believe it or not, as Dwight is going to set the first lap. Let's go ahead and get down to Tearful, who should be coming across the line now. Tearful looking to set a slightly faster lap with a 1:22.8. Who's behind him? Is it the Haas? It's the Haas of Clay. There is someone in front of him. We're gonna stick with Clay for now, so we don't miss anything. I think it's Beaksy. So Beaksy's gonna go ahead and set a lap. What's Beaksy going to do? Beaksy's going to set a 1:24. Dr. Bod, the winner of last race, with a 1:22. A few other drivers are going to be crossing the line shortly. There's another Haas coming. The Mercedes of Silver's going to come across. Chris, one of the newer drivers, is going to set up a pole lap, and Silver's going to push himself into P5. Silver is looking to rebound after having a little bit of struggles. I did just see something else happen. I think Nathan just brought himself into 7th. But Silver's been having a little bit of a hard time finding his footing this season. He hasn't had horrible finishes, but he just has not had the season that I know he's capable of and I know he wants to have, because it's mostly just been the Dr. Bod show, respectfully. And I'm really not trying to put Silver down because he is a good driver. He's just really having a rough time this season. And I think we all know he's capable of doing better. Alpha's lap is over. Swankier isn't doing anything. Clay is on a lap as well. What can Clay do? I don't think Chris just set an even faster lap, dude. What the heck? Clay is setting a decent lap. I think it's going to be a 1:22. Clay jumping up into P7. I think that's everybody that's on a serious lap. Yeah. So that'll do it for qualifying. I don't know what the heck happened to Brodo.
Well, that's qualifying over. Pole goes to the new guy, Chris, in the Kick Sauber as a reserve driver. Dr. Bod and Brian are right next to each other. Championship rivals. And Aiden's in the mix again.
I don't know that Chris did a whole lot of practice before this race as well. That might just be natural raw speed. I'm not sure, but that was a great showing from him, and hopefully he can keep that same pace during the race as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but Aiden's in the mix still. Like, it's, even though he's the in third place in the standings at the moment, he's always right up there with them. He just needs to get a good race above both of them.
Aiden's definitely a very sneaky good driver, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's just something really funny about driving to the bottom of the chat and just, not the chat, the bottom of the standings and just seeing a random eye on a tire. Alright, here we go. 5 red lights and away we go. Chris is going to lead us. The new driver, I cannot believe a newer driver is leading us off the start. What is turn 1 going to look like? Are the drivers going to handle it cleanly, or is there going to be a bunch of huge collisions? I just saw Silver punt the McLaren off the track. There was a little bit of bumping, but it looks like everybody made it through relatively cleanly, as there goes the Alpine. The Alpine's going to hit Silver, and there's going to be a huge clash into the back. And once again, Silver is involved in an opening lap collision. Nathan is out of the race. Holy crap, the Williams of Beaksy was sideways, and we already got a safety car on lap 1. And are we going to see any overtakes on the straight? I don't think we are. We're seeing some side-by-side action between Dragon and Blood Default. Do they make it cleanly into turn 1? I think Default's going to commit to that overtake. He is, and he's going to send it right up the inside. Dragon trying to defend the outside. I just switched to the wrong person on accident. There's a collision in the back. The Aston Martin just went off the track. The Aston Martin of Joe Clark, who started so well. Look at this pack in the middle. Holy cow. Everybody just kind of jumbled up. It's Beaksy, it's Dwint, it's Dragon, all of them. They all just started bunching up out of nowhere. I don't know what made that happen, but now Silver trying to make a move on the outside of Dwint. It's not going to happen. There's another Racing Bulls off the track. It's the Racing Bull of Dragon, and Dragon is going to spin, or not spin, but he's going to fall all the way down to the back of the grid. Look at Takata trying to battle with Silver. Silver having just made that overtake. Oh, they almost touched tires. Takata doing a great job avoiding him, but hanging on just barely. And right out of the gun, positions are changing effective immediately. Why did DuPont just go off the track? DuPont's going to go off the track. Takata, Stack, and Silver are going to battle it out right now. I think Silver's going to hang on for a little while. That he's going to be stuck behind Dwint. Dwint is slowing him down a little bit. I think Silver is a little faster than Dwint, believe it or not. is he going to try to make a move? Dwint's going to block him off. Dwint is not. You cannot do that at all. That is some very interesting defending.
Reactionary defense.
Yeah, you cannot do that at all. And I think we're going to see 3 wide down the straight between Dwint, Silver, and Stack. Stack pushing Dwint off the track a little bit, and he's going to try to make a move up the inside of Silver. Is it going to... I almost said, is it going to Stack? Oh, Silver making a little bit of a mistake, and that almost opened the door for Dwint to go right back through, but it doesn't. And I'm seeing Dr. Bod is actually pressuring Chris from behind right now. I'm going to go ahead and get up there. I didn't realize they were still so close together. They pulled away from Brian a little bit.
There's a great battle between Tearful and Swankier going on at the moment.
Tearful and Swankier.
Very hard defending.
And Brodo is right behind them as well, and I'm sure he's trying to throw himself into the mix. Brodo on the soft tires, Tearful on the mediums, and Swankier also on the softs. Swankier getting a 3-second time penalty, which will change how they fight at the end of the race. But look at Brodo using his ARS to hang on the outside of Tearful. I don't think he's going to be able to do anything, not cleanly anyway. He is going to back off, but sooner rather than later, there's no way he doesn't make an overtake here, especially behind Swankier, who he's faster than. And I think Tearful's a little faster than Swankier as well, but yeah, look at Tearful desperately trying to make a move around any side of Swankier that he can. But Tearful does not have a lot of ERS at all. Swankier has 66 and Brodo has 40. Brodo able to use it. Oh, he's going to get touched by Tearful. Tearful is going to push him across. Swankier's just going to give them both a position. Brodo hanging hard on the outside of Tearful. I think he's going to get the move to stick. Tearful not giving him any space. Lots of contact. But he is eventually going to get the move through. Brodo is going to come out on top. And now Swankier, for a second there, Swankier was getting back into the mix. I thought he had been knocked out of the battle entirely. But just that quickly, he had caught himself right back into it. And it looks like Tearful is almost making a kind of a mistake running wide on these corners. Oh, Swankier's going to bump him a little bit. He's going to bump him again. It's going to open up the inside for him. He is going to back off and let him have this. Dwint is going to pick up a 3-second time penalty. This is lovely stuff.
Track limits is going to be very important. There's already a bunch of warnings that's been given out already. I expect a lot of penalties to be coming through.
I'm seeing Alpha and Dwint start to battle as well. Dwint having one of those penalties that you just mentioned. And really, they're just fighting for track position right now. They're not looking to get any points. But there is still plenty of time for them to get points. Dr. Bod has fallen off of Chris just a little bit. And there's a yellow flag in the front. I'm not sure who that is. Is it Beaksy? I don't think it's Beaksy. But Dr. Bod, is he going to try to dive on Chris? I don't think he is. Clay just got a 3-second time penalty. It looks like Dr. Bod and Chris are just trying to pull away from Brian. And Brian is going to be in some trouble in a couple laps because Aiden has caught up to him and will more than likely be trying to fight him. Brodo is catching up to Tearful still as well and looking to make another overtake on him. I think Tearful may have gotten him right back. Do you think that's what happened? Because I'm pretty sure Brodo was in front of him. But now he's going to go up the inside. He's going to get the position back. And Swankier is now a second behind them. And pretty much, I think he's just going to be out of their DRS range for the next couple of laps. A lot of position swaps happening. I think Joe Clark is about to make a move on Alpha. He does. He's going to go up Alpha's outside, or go around the outside of Alpha. And, oh, Joe Clark is going to slow down a lot, almost brake checking Alpha. And Alpha's going to dive and get the move right back. Or not, because Joe's just going to use telekinesis and teleport right in front of him. So, whatever floats your boat in this game, I guess. Okay. I have no idea what's happening on my stream, but Joe Clark is a magician. He's teleporting everywhere. How do you defend again? Oh! Chris just got a 3-second time penalty.
I did say this was going to be crucial for the win.
Chris
is very bad because now he's theoretically behind Aiden.
And now he really needs to build that gap to Brian. And I don't see why Dr. Bod would even work with him to get ahead like that anymore, because right now he has the pace. Oh, he's gonna pit. He's gonna pit early and try to go for an undercut. Maybe that's what you have to do with that. I wonder if had he not gotten that 3-second penalty, would he still have gone to the pits there? Because I don't think that he does. But also Brodo is heading to the pits as well. Swankier also heading to the pits. Now Brodo and Swankier were on the soft tires. and Chris was on the mediums. So it is a bit interesting they decided to pit that early on, but
It's probably because they think they're losing too much time battling with others. For example, Brodo's battling with Tearful Steel nearly every corner, as we saw.
yeah.
So just getting some clean air so we can just go full pace with no traffic.
But do the mediums last to the end of the race, though?
That is a good question because tyre wear isn't the greatest around Qatar. So we'll have to see by the end if they get a puncture or the tyres are just dead.
And to me, that says I'm hoping for a safety car, because I just don't. Maybe you can use your tires to the end like that. As I just saw Chris make a nice overtake on Dwint, who's going to get another time penalty. I actually watched that one happen live.
Yeah, it's not ideal that that Chris is in traffic at the moment. This is not what he wants, as Dr. Bod is reacting to the undercut, as well as Brian, as well as Aiden. They're all pitting.
Tearful's going to go ahead and pit as well. I think Blood is more than likely going to stay out. Yeah, he is. He's passing them now, so he's going to stay out on the oldest hards in the game right now, or on the field, other than Dragons. And I think Dragon likes to wear out his tires. The problem with Dragon, though, in historically, is that he stays out for so long that he starts slowing himself down, and it's a good strategy initially.
Dr.
When
Bod
it starts to,
still ahead of Chris, so that traffic's really slowing him down.
Yeah,
He's over a second in front now.
But Chris is up in the 6th. I'm watching Dragon battle with the magician of Joe Clark, and for the time being, it looks like he got the overtake done, but he could teleport at any moment. And now Joe Clark is going to start slowing down his teammate. Holy cow! Did you just see that dive from Brian? Brian, I think he was trying to let his teammate, or Joe Clark was trying to let his teammate through, so Brian just shot past him. Dwint, not wanting to overtake his teammate, is going to let Joe Clark, or not going to let him catch up. I thought he was a bit closer, but now it's two Alpines trying to bully Brian into getting that 8th place position. But just as quickly,
now 2 seconds in front of Chris.
And Brian is going to go ahead and make an overtake on Dragon, who is on 10-lap old hards and not making any progress whatsoever. As whoa, I don't know what just happened to Alpha. A huge
Joe Clark
moment.
Now 6th for some reason. And now he's back down to 8th.
Okay, something is definitely very wrong with Joe Clark, and I don't know what's going on.
Now Brian's slowing down.
Brian has slowed down as well. Both the Alpines.
An illegal overtake.
Okay, truthfully, I'm very confused as to what is happening right now. Brodo just made a nice overtake on Joe Clark, and I think he's gonna. Is he gonna get a double overtake?
Overtaking earlier.
Yeah, he did, and we're gonna see a double kill from Brodo if Joe Clark doesn't just magically teleport ahead of him again. But those were good moves from Brodo.
What I think is happening is he's in AI, but he's actually on his screen. He's actually racing, and when he gets the connection, he suddenly teleports to where he's supposed to be. Which isn't that great, because now we're super confused. Yeah, Joe Clark's back in 6th.
Yeah, I don't know what's happening. This is weird. It's weird and it's frustrating, and I'm glad Dragon is finally going up.
Retired.
And he's done it in the middle of the track.
Thank you to Joe Clark.
He's just done that in the middle of the track. Hopefully that doesn't cause any issues for anybody. I don't think it will.
No, it should be. They should park it out of the way.
But all Stack needs to worry about realistically is just keeping himself in a position where he could get outside of that 3-second range from Chris, or stay within it. I mean, as Brodo and Brian are going to double overtake Alpha, and now 2 recently pitters are up in the top 10.
Yeah, it looks like Brian's struggling out there because he was in front of Aiden, and now Aiden and Brodo are both in front of him. could be because he's struggling with his new setup, but we'll have to ask him outside of after the race. Because he's got problems with his brake apparently, where when the brake is so hard that when he tries to put pressure on him, his seat goes backwards. So it's not ideal. You need a proper rig for his brake, or somehow make the spring less stiff.
I've never even heard of that kind of issue before, but is Brodo Brodo doesn't get a penalty for that. I'm very surprised. He had to have gotten a warning or something. But here we go. There's going to be more overtakes happening. Brodo's going to go ahead and fly by Aiden, and I think Brian is going to do the same. Another double overtake from Brodo and Brian. They just did it to Alpha, and now they just did it to Aiden. So I'm feeling like they're probably just going to work together up until the end of the race and try to get inside Chris's 3-second range, because I highly doubt... Actually, I don't highly doubt that Aiden can keep up with him, because he probably can, truth be told. The issue with him is more going to be how he handles his tires other than his actual driving, because he finishes right behind him almost every race.
I think Stack or Blood Default could win this race. In fact, I think they're more likely to win this race than Dr. Bod, because Dr. Bod isn't catching up quick enough.
And I wonder if part of that is because Stack and Blood Default aren't fighting. Silver just made an overtake on Swankier. And then Swankier got him right back. So with how things are looking, it looks like both Mercedes are going to get points this race. Because even if Silver gets overtaken by DuPont, DuPont has a 9-second penalty. And now Silver has a 3-second penalty, and Black Dragon has a 3-second time penalty. It was Silver bumping Swankier a little bit to get that P9 position.
So at this rate, Dr. Bod will gain 6 points on Brian, so he will be 1 point behind him. But who has fastest lap is my question.
I'm not...
It is Dr. Bod, so he will be tied on points with Brian, if that stays the same by the end of the race.
Swankier looking to get around DuPont wouldn't make a huge difference in the end, but I love to see a good battle. True, but also his teammate this race is finishing in P4 behind him, and Stack is going to take home yet another win. Blood Default is going to finish right behind him. Either stand is going to change for the top 3. No, Dr. Bod is going to get 3rd. I think Chris is going to get 4th, and Brodo is going to get 5th. Brian is not going to hold on to 6th. He should lose a position to Aiden here. Aiden's going to overtake him. Silver is trying to get around the outside of Tearful, even though he doesn't need to. He's actually playing it kind of dangerous right now, because really he could just hold back and he would still get the same position. But because even if DuPont passes him, he'll still get both of them back. So hopefully they handle this cleanly. Please handle this cleanly, guys. Okay, thank goodness. So Silver's going to go ahead and take P8, and I think DuPont is not going to gain anything. No, he's going to gain a position on Tearful. Swankier's going to jump up to 10th. Tearful is going to retire.
Why do that? Because now all the standings are messed up.
Why did he do that? Because now he's going to lose all the positions. Why would you do that? Why is Alpha on the full wets?
I don't know, have some fun. This is exactly like Belgium race or clay on the softs. Let's have a look at the final results. So, T-Bones did get 8th, so he's helped the Mercedes Constructors fight there. You have a Williams there. I think Mercedes will overtake Williams here. And I think will be very close between the top three for the constructors. But it all depends on post-race penalties as well.
Yeah, and Tearful did not get 14th. I'm pretty sure he finished before above that. It just
I think
messed
he
him
got
up.
11th. If I looked, yeah, because Swankia had 10th.
Why would
with
you?
the penalties, he was part of it. It's really hard when people do that because
Yeah.
DuPont did it last weekend, and I nearly made him last place.